want our x to be between 0 and 360 inclusive. So we start with k equal to 0. So we say therefore x will be equal to, now these are our solutions. If I put k equal to 0 here, 0 times 360 will give you 0. But I'm going to have plus or minus 58. Between plus 58 and minus 58 degrees, I want the positive of the two. So that will be 58 degrees. So that's my first what? My first solution. Okay? I put k equal to 0. Okay? I don't want the negative 58 because it's outside the required interval. Then I'll substitute, I started with k equal to 0. I'll go up, k equal to 1. So if I put k equal to 1 here, 1 times 360 gives me 360. But here there are two angles. If I take the positive, 58 plus 360 will give me 318. Okay, I don't want, sorry, it gives me 418. I don't want 418. It's outside the required interval. So if I take the negative, negative 58, if I add 360 to it, I'll get 302 degrees. Okay, and 302 is between 0 and 360 degrees. Okay, if I substitute k equal to minus 1 here, I'm going to end up getting values that are outside the given interval, which means I only have two solutions based on this interval. Okay, so these will be my solutions of this trig equation if the interval for x that's required is from 0 to 360 degrees. Okay? Are you following? If you have got a question, feel free to ask. Yes?
So, why is cos x equal to cos 58 instead of cos 32?
Why is cos x equal to what?
Why is it cos 58 cos 32?
So you're saying, why is cos 58 equal to sine 32?
No, I'm saying why is it not equal to cos 32?
Okay, let me just repeat. So are you saying, why is cos 58 not equal to cos 32?
Yes.
Okay. If you use your calculator, let's just say use your calculator. If you put cos 58 and cos 52, they will never be equal. Okay? So, the reason why cos 58 cannot be equivalent to cos 52 is based on the definition of cos itself. Okay? If I were to give you a right angle triangle, if I give you this as 50 degrees, okay? Remember, if this is 58, this angle becomes what? 32 degrees. You agree with me on that? And this is your hypotenuse. With reference to 58 degrees, this is your opposite side, and that's your adjacent side. With reference to 32 degrees, this becomes your opposite side, and that becomes the adjacent side. So based on the definition of cos on a right angle triangle, cos 58 cannot be equal to cos 32 degrees because the opposite side and the adjacent change based on the reference angle. You understand what I mean? If the reference angle is 32, the opposite side changes when the reference angle becomes 58 degrees. Now, because of that, your two ratios cannot be the same. You get what I mean? Can you sanitize yourself? Yes. Get 50 what?
As in like x is equal to 58 and then comma greater to get the 8. You say 58 times 1, and then 360 minus 58. So you get
Okay. Now, see this part here? That's the one which helps us to get all the possible solutions. Okay? Okay is an integer. Okay? Our interval for the question is this one here. X must be between 0 degrees and 360 degrees. We don't want angles that are negative, and we don't want angles that are more than 360. So how do I get all the solutions? I substitute k, starting with k equal to 0. Okay? So if I put k equal to 0 here, 0 times 360 gives us what? 0. And then you'll be left with plus or minus 58 degrees. Okay? There are two angles here. There is the one which is positive, the other one is what? Negative. Now, based on this interval, which one among the two would you take? The positive. That's why I took that. Okay? Then I substitute k equal to 0. Now I need to oscillate. So I move k equal to 0. If it's up to you, I prefer to say 0, then 1, minus 1, 2, minus 2, 3, minus 3, depending on the what question you have. So I moved on to k equal to 1. 1 times 360 gives us 360. But here we have two angles. So if I take the positive, it will be 58 plus 360, which gives me 418. 418 is greater than 360, so we don't want it. But if I take the negative, minus 58 plus 360 will give me 302 degrees. And 302 is between 0 and 360. There is no point of substituting k equal to 2 or k equal to minus 2 because you get values that are outside this interval. Is that clear enough?
So, on the data of the first features. So the second step, why is it cause instead of sun?
We're talking about here.
Yes.
The beginning of the topic 3 weeks ago. Okay? Core ratios. Can you go back to core ratios? Go back to where I spoke about. Right at the beginning when I did reduction formula. Okay? Huh? Okay. Yes. I'm going to convert the cos to sine. So you end up having sine x minus 40 degrees is equal to sine 90 minus 50 will give you sine 40. Okay? Alright? Then, since we have sine on the left, sine on the right, it means that the angles x minus 40 degrees is equivalent to 40 degrees. And I've explained why. Okay, in the previous example. So I can drop that and write as x minus 40 degrees is equal to, since this is sine here, our reference angle is going to be 40 degrees.
Wow. So now you can
Okay?
Why?
Because of the exercise that I just showed you with the calculator. I just showed, I explained to you why here, you see here, the reference angle is 50. If you have got 58 here, there is x here, but the reference angle becomes 58, and I showed you with the calculator why it becomes 58. Okay?
Yeah, so we see that. We don't know why it's
Where did the sign go?
oh, you divide.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going to divide. Listen. If I take this sign here to the right, you end up having. I thought you understood what I was doing with the calculator. This becomes shift sign.
Yes,
Pay attention. Shift sign of sine 40 degrees. And this is equal to 40 degrees.
Yes, the other.
Okay.
So you should write that step, so then we make directions, otherwise we don't know what's happening. So it's still B plus.
So you want me to write it that way?
Yes.
Okay. That's what you want, then let's carry on like that. So here I'll put plus K, but you see now, you need to learn to write the way that I wrote, because sometimes you might have an angle here, which is not an exact angle, and then you're going to end up having issues. Okay? No, I'm telling you. Okay, don't worry, I'll show you an example like that. Just now. So here, we end up having x minus 40 degrees is equal to 40 degrees. Okay, plus k times 360, where k is an element of z. Now, your textbook, if you look at it, doesn't show you this step. This step is not there. You look at your textbook. Okay, be aware of it. It doesn't show you that. Okay, and some learners they get confused with the concept as to why when you drop the sign we end up having x minus 40 and then we have the 40 degrees. But I've shown you why. Okay, so you should get that. What? No, that's not the proper language. Okay, let's carry on. Now remember, this is your reference angle. That's your reference angle. Okay, and this angle is in the first quadrant. It has got a brother or sister in the second quadrant. Okay, so let's find the general solution with this reference angle. So when you simplify this, you get x equal, you take minus 40 to the right, 40 plus 40 gives you 80 degrees, plus k times 360, where k is an element of z. So that's the first general solution. Okay, then the second one, we rewrite the left-hand side from here, okay, or from here. So we say x minus 40, the left-hand side doesn't change. The right-hand side will change because the reference angle, this one here, it has got another one which is equivalent to it in the second quadrant. So we subtract this 40 from what? 180 degrees. Okay? If you don't understand why, go back to the first day that I introduced the general solution. Plus k times 360, where k is an element of z. Okay, this becomes x minus 40 degrees equal to 140 plus k times 360, where k is an element of z. So we now have two. Okay, I need to simplify this further. So this becomes x equal to, if I take the minus 40 on the other side, I'll get 180 degrees plus k times 360, where k is an element of z. Okay, so I now have two general solutions here. Okay, two of them.
Oh, it's coming from the 14 on the other side. Komplit nggak kali ini, nggak kali ini. Coming from the left to the right.
Okay, so from here, listen, this is not the answer, final answer. The final answer, I need to get the x values between minus 360 and 360 degrees. So I have to substitute k now into both general solutions.
So K must be.
Right, so let's start. So I'll say, therefore, x is equal to,
Yes, sir. The same. Yes, the 180.
x equal to, right, let's start here. Can you pay attention? Pay attention. If you put k equal to 0, okay, if you put k equal to 0 here, you get 0 times 360 plus 80, so you end up getting 80 degrees.
So what did you put there?
Oh.
0.
Yeah, I substitute k equal to 0. Okay? Now I need to oscillate k equal to 1. If I put k equal to 1, I'll get 360 plus 8, which gives me 440. I don't want 440. If I put k equal to minus 1, I'll end up having 80 minus 360, which will give me minus 280. Minus 280 is in the equation. Right? Then let's carry on. If I put k equal to 2, k equal to minus 2, I'll get values that are outside the given interval. So the first two values of x are these two here, using this general solution. But I'm not done now. I need to move on to the second one. Right? The second one, if I put k equal to 0 here, 0 times 360 is 0. But I have the 180 there, so 180 is the solution. Okay? Then if I put k equal to 1, 1 times 360 is 360 plus 180, I'll get 540. I don't want 540. If I put k equal to minus 1, minus 1 times 360 gives me minus 360. Minus 360 plus 180 will give me minus 180. Okay? Then, if you put k equal to 2, k equal to minus 2, you get values that are outside. So you are going to end up having 4 solutions. Okay? So these are the 4 values that can satisfy that trig equation.
So sir, when you do this, you only need 4, for the 4 quadrants for that one. Or can it be many more? When you do this, when you submit choosing for k.
The K caters for all quadrants, for one. It also caters for both negative and positive angles. Yeah.
Only between negative 360.
Okay. All right. Let me carry on. Let me carry on. Okay. So I've done that one. Let me move on to another type. Right. The next type that I'm going to do, pay attention. Number 4. Okay, number 4. So number 4 is tan x. Can you keep quiet, please? It's tan x equal to tan 2x minus 25. Okay? Yeah. You see, this is the example that I was talking about. You see that both sides we have got x. Pay attention. Both sides we have got what? We have got x. Now you can't say shift tan because we don't know what x is. But if you understood the concept, you should know that from that step, if I drop that tan and take it to the right hand side, if I write, this says x equal to shift tan of tan 2x minus 25 degrees. Okay, let me put a straight bracket. The answer that you get there is going to be this angle. Okay, so you end up getting x equal to 2x minus 25 degrees plus k times 180, where k is an element of integers. Huh? Do you understand it?
Yes.
So if you have got shift tan, then you have got tan in angle, the answer that you get is the angle for the tan. Okay? So we have shift tan, so let me write it properly. Oh no, it's fine because I've got my shift tan here. Shift tan of tan 2x minus 25 is going to be equal to the angle, which is 2x minus 25 degrees. And this part here, from my experience over the years, it confuses learners how you move from the original trig equation to this step. Okay. The textbook they don't show that. Alright, let's carry on. Alright, let's carry on here. Then you take the 2x to the left, you get minus x equal to minus 25 degrees plus k times 180, where k is an element of integers. Okay? Now we need to make the coefficient of x positive. So we divide that minus x by minus 1, the minus 25 by minus 1. The k times 180 must also be divided by minus 1. Okay? Okay? You only go as far as the k term, which is k times 180. And then you end up with x here equal to 25 degrees. Okay? 25 degrees minus k times 180 degrees, where k is an element of integers. Okay? What does the question want us to find? The general solution. So you just stop there. So this will be your final answer. Okay? We are not finding actual values of x. So you just stop there. Okay? Are you following? Huh? So make sure you are very careful, pay attention how you move from the original trig equation to this step here. If you want, you can write this step. Okay, you want just to make things easier for yourself. Okay, but you have to be aware that shift tan of a tan with an angle, the answer is the angle. Okay, if it's sine, it means shift sine of an angle, the answer is the angle for the sine. If it's cos, shift cos of whatever cos, it's going to be the angle for that cos. Okay? So that's it.
Isn't that supposed to be negative 180? So that's negative 180.
It's negative k times 180. Okay. Right? So from there, you get 2x minus 5 degrees is equal to 125 degrees minus x plus k times 360, where k is an integer. Okay? Now your reference angle is this. This is your reference angle. You have to subtract that from 180. Okay? This is your reference angle. Remember, the reference angle is the angle you get by using shift sine. That's the reference angle. Okay? Then you want to solve for x, so take that minus x to the left, we'll get 3x. Take this minus 5 to the right, we'll get 130x, 130 degrees, sorry, plus k times 360, where k is an integer. Can you wait it up?
So it's 40.
So from here, you divide every term by 3. So you end up getting x equal to 42. Okay, to one decimal place. Okay, let's make it 2.
So they specify.
Yeah, generally it's 2. So that will be plus k times 120 degrees. Okay, so this is your first general solution. Okay, the second one, we subtract the reference angle from 180. So you end up having x equal, it will be 2x, so it will be 2x, you start from here, so it will be 2x minus 5 degrees. Okay, the left hand side that does not change. what changes this angle? So it will be 180 degrees minus, open bracket, 125 degrees minus x plus k times 360 degrees, where k is an integer. Okay? So when you simplify here, you get 2x minus 5 degrees is equal to 55 plus x plus k times 360, where k is an element of z. So then we take that x, you take the left, the minus 5 take the right. So you end up having x equals to 60 degrees plus k times 360, where k is an element of z. So this is your final answer.
Oh, wait, maybe it is. So I can't see.
So that's your final answer.